So my job as a coach, is a leader, is to help others gravitate towards excellence. And that's kind of a mantra that we have with Arkansas track and field, is gravitating towards excellence, not mediocrity. And it's tough for 18 to 22-year-old kids to always understand exactly what that means. So for us, it's this unrelenting task that every single day, we tell our guys to focus on the process. And the final product at the end of the day is going to take care of itself. And time again, we tell them that daily decisions that you make in focusing on the process, the little things that you do every single day, is going to go one way or the other. You're either going to gravitate towards excellence, or you're going to gravitate towards mediocrity. And over time, hopefully, we get these guys to understand that. But in the business world and what we're all doing, that's what we do. Every decision we make every single day is going to go one direction or the other. So excellence or mediocrity. And then you take a step back, and I have to look at, as a coach, on multiple occasions, what is my process to help these people out, these people around me. And so when you look at coaching, and I think in all of our respective professions, it's probably 50% scientific and 50% artistic. So the scientific part, for me, and a lot of us, is probably the X's and the O's. We have to know what we're doing. You know, in track and field, it's acceleration models, periodization cycles, different techniques in all the respective track and field events. That's the X's and the O's, and that's the scientific part. But then there's the artistic side. And the artistic side that we all have, and challenges I'm sure that you have, is communicating effectively. So it's great when we know what we're doing, but it can be unbelievable when we can communicate the message effectively. And so we focus on the process, and we communicate, and we gather information from all the people that are around us that are helping us. And as I said, this is an unbelievable event for people to have conversations. We're all moving towards different goals, but we know how to take some of these ideas and concepts and recruit other people into like-minded thinking to head in the same direction on our respective teams. And that's what you have when you get other people's input and you decipher through the information. They feel included and involved in part of the process that they're about to follow. It's a lot of fun, because then what you have is a team moving in the same direction. So focusing on the process is a big part of what we do, and letting the final product take care of itself. So I'm going to give you a little visual analogy of focusing on the process and letting the final product take care of itself. So one of our athletes, Jerry Lawson, is an unbelievable athlete, but he jumped 28 feet, 1 3/4 inches last year, the furthest long jump in the world in the last decade. So I'm going to show you how far 28 feet is. All right, so here it is. Wall to wall. Literally wall to wall. So Jerry Lawson comes screaming down the runway, takes off with 1 foot, flies through the air, and lands in the sand 28 feet away. What a great visual analogy, or even metaphor, of focusing on the process, right? This seemingly insurmountable task of flying through the air 28 feet. He didn't wake up that morning and say, you know what, I'm going to go jump 28 feet today. It was for 4 years that this guy was self-disciplined, making daily decisions every single day that are focusing on the process, gravitating towards excellence. So that's what his sleep patterns, his eating patterns, lifting, all the athletic training that comes along with it, and then having balance in his life so there's not distractions from that end goal. for him to keep his grades up, to keep his social life in order, because it's preached to our guys all the time. If you want to be great here athletically, you have to be great here, socially and academically. Because if you're not here socially and academically, and you're down here, it's just going to drag this other part down. So for 4 years, Jerry and Lawson made daily decisions that were gravitating towards excellence. And when the opportunity came, he seized the moment, jumped 28 feet, and made the Olympic team as a 22-year-old young man. Which was pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. So the other part that we have to talk about with our guys is what happens when we focus on the process, we do everything right every single day, and then we fail. Because it's going to happen. I failed more times than I can count. We all have. Starting a business, nonprofit, recruiting people, we're going to fail. It's going to happen. But how are you going to react? What are you going to do? How are you going to respond when the chips are down, so to speak? So I'd like to tell you about 3 young men that I was fortunate to recruit coach in Rio last year at the Olympic Games. The first is Clive Pullen. He is a Jamaican triple jumper. Clive is a senior at Arkansas right now. Unbelievable kid. I love him to death. So last year he was the SEC champion in the triple jump. He was the indoor national champion and NCAA national champion in triple jump. He was the outdoor SEC champion in the triple jump. And outdoors at the national championships, he fouled all 3 jumps. He was the guy that was supposed to win a national title and help the Razorbacks win a team national title. We ended up finishing second. It was crushing. I mean, it was a devastating moment. And so I actually had to step outside of the stadium and gather myself for a moment, and because I was hurting. And then I went back to, all right, what can I do for this young man as a leader, as a coach, to help him continue to gravitate towards excellence when right now you couldn't feel any worse? So I gathered myself and I walked back in there and I said, Clive, this is what we're going to do. We are going to learn from this moment. We're going to figure out the technical issues that we have to make you better, and you are going to be great because of what just happened right now. It hurts right now, and it hurts because you care. And we all care. But then you take a step back, you reflect, and you say, what can I do to be better next time? So Clive had one more opportunity to qualify for the Olympic Games. And the way the Olympic qualifying works is that you have in your respective nations, in this case Jamaica, you have to finish in the top 3 at your national championships. You also have to have met a qualifying standard. So in the triple jump, the qualifying standard is 55 feet, 3.5 inches. The insurmountable task that Clive had was that nobody from Jamaica had jumped over 55 feet in 44 years. 44 years. Nobody had done it. Clive pulled off a devastating defeat. Had one more opportunity to do this at the Jamaica National Championships. And we went down to Jamaica and he flat out got it. 55 feet, 5.5 inches, the first Jamaican triple jumper to meet the Olympic standard since 1972. And that's how he responded to failure. Jerry Lawson, the long jumper that I just told you about, overcame a lot of adversity at the beginning of the outdoor track season last year. There was school stuff, there was figuring out agents, there was surgery, there was all kinds of things that were distracting him along the way. And it was a tough thing for him to get through. But then at the end of the outdoor track season, at the NCAA National Championships, he won the 100-meter dash, the 200-meter dash, and the long jump, all in the same meet. He's the second person in the history of our sport to do that. The first person to do that was Jesse Owens in 1936. Which is a pretty amazing task. So this young man then goes on to Rio. I'm going to paint a very quick picture for you. He's in 4th place. He's the final jumper. He's one spot out from getting an Olympic medal. Last jumper in the competition. The leading jump is 27 feet, 8 inches. He has jumped 28 feet 3 weeks prior. And he knows on this attempt, if he jumps 28 feet today, he is going to be the Olympic gold medalist and put himself in the history books forever. So Jerrion Lawson on this jump comes screaming down the runway, hits his check mark, I'm celebrating, takes off, and lands well beyond 28 feet. 80,000 people going crazy, I'm going crazy. Everybody is anxiously awaiting the scoreboard result to pop up of the distance that he jumped. And then the distance pops up, 25 feet, 7 inches. I'm screaming, I'm like, what? Like, no, it's a mismarker. It's gotta be a mistake. Hold the mark, hold the mark. And then the NBC cameras are in my face as I'm going crazy. And upon further video review, it showed that Jerrion Lawson literally drug his pinky finger behind him, 3 feet behind him, when he landed on that jump. That was the mark that was measured, 25 feet, 7 inches, 4th place. No Olympic medal. So, as his coach, I was struggling. So I leave the Olympic Stadium and try to gather myself, and to be perfectly honest with you, I was still struggling when I came back in. And then I see Jerrion literally taking pictures for over an hour with fans that are coming up and they want to meet and take a picture with Jerrion Lawson. He takes pictures after one of the most disappointing moments in his life for an hour and smiles in every picture, which was amazing to me, and it was an unbelievable lesson that I got from one of my athletes in how you deal with disappointment. So no matter what we go through, we have to brush ourselves off, we get back up, and we know that there's going to be another day. And his tweet later that night was, "Greater is ahead," which I thought was pretty amazing. Now, the third athlete that I would like to tell you about is Omar McLeod. Omar McLeod is a Jamaican hurdler. He is the collegiate record holder in the indoor hurdles, the outdoor hurdles. He was the indoor world champion last year in 2016. And 2 weeks prior to the Olympic Games, he went overseas and he fell in both races that he had over there. Once in Monaco and once in Budapest. 2 falls. So the track and field social media world is lighting up. What's wrong with Omar McLeod? And you want to talk about pressure, Jamaica's national pastime is track and field. All right, so his name is mentioned up there with Usain Bolt. So it's unbelievable pressure on a 21-year-old kid. So we go to Rio, and he had fallen twice. There's no race before the Olympic Games. And we have a couple practices, and things are okay, and it's good, but it's not great. So then there's one more practice the day before his first round race, the first competition, and it's a long story, and it was hard for me to get to that practice. I actually had to break into a Brazilian Air Force base where the track was. That's truly another story altogether. But so I break into the Air Force base, I get there, and because I know it's one cue for him to get the job done. And so before that, and I helped coach him along with Doug Case here at Arkansas. Before that, I was trying really hard not to overcoach him. I didn't want to say too much. I didn't want to get into his head. But the night before that last practice, I said to myself, which I've said 1,000 times when making hard decisions, play to win. Tell this kid what he needs to know to go out there and execute the plan and run to win. So in that practice, it was a technical thing with getting that first step down. You be aggressive in that first step, you get it down, and it's going to set you up for success the rest of the race. So in practice, he does it, and him and I both know that he is ready. So fast forward, he gets through the prelims, he gets through the semifinals. We're in the final at the Olympic Games. All the pressure coming down on him, and all we talked about was take that first step. You get it down, and the rest is going to take care of itself. So if you guys want to, I actually tweeted a video of that. I retweeted it again this morning. My Twitter is TrackTravis. You can look at it right now. If you want to get on your phone and follow me at TrackTravis, feel free to do so. And look at that tweet of Omar McLeod winning an Olympic gold. Yes. screaming like crazy. I actually passed out and fell back into my chair. But it was an amazing experience. And the reason I tell you to watch it is to feel the passion, feel the emotion. And, you know, and I'm fortunate in the athletics realm to have experiences like that, but we all have it. We all have passion, we all have emotion, and what I encourage every single one of us to do in our daily lives is to use that passion, use that emotion, and take the first step. And be aggressive in taking that first step and play to win. And as leaders, as entrepreneurs, everything that we do, take the first step, play to win, focus on the process, and at the end of the day, the final product is going to take care of itself. Thank you.